All right. And we're live, we're live, we're live. Let's give a round of applause. Yes, yes, yes. Everyone, anyone that's listening, please do us a favor and put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear us good, if we're clean, we really appreciate it. We'll follow and make sure that we're sounding good. So if you can hear us live, please put a 1 in the chat. Sound good? All right, so we're back again, guys. Before we get started, I'm going to ask, please like, share, and subscribe. Help us to grow. Think and Say podcast. Think and Say. Remember, in order for us to be able to do more content, great content, and be able to get to the point where we can bring in big guests, we need to be able to get to a certain subscription amount to justify doing that. You know, we're here doing this, and we're doing this for you, and we're creating content, and we're striving to create more content that will help us to help you and enjoy the content that we are posting or broadcasting. All right. So with that said, Ray, did you say any ones in the chat?
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right. Good. All right, everyone. As you can see, we're back again with another Diddy. And as you can see, give me a second, because this is going to get exciting today, right? So it was actually 2 lawsuits in this past week, right? And let me tell you, my head, I thought. Hold on. Give me a second. 1 second. Hello. Hey Ray, the people are saying the audio is not sync. Yeah.
Mic check.
Don't do a mic check. Just wait. Sorry, guys. Seem like we have a bit of technical issues. So before we continue, we're going to resolve that. So let's try to get that resolved. Let me make a, give me a second. Let me make a call and see from one of the listeners, one of the viewers. Give us a second, guys. It's all some technical issues. Yes, how are we? How's the audio sounding on? Yeah. No, stay with me on the phone to make sure that we're good. Oh, okay. All right. Yes. Waiting to get feedback, everyone. Sorry about that. Hope is not our internet provider that's causing this problem, because last week, which was it Saturday? Yeah, when we were going to go
Yes,
live
on
on Saturday, we had technical issues with the provider because they were messing with our internet.
Well, no, you got a text saying
A text,
how much.
right? All right, that never received before about the gigs. So we're paying for internet, and apparently the provider is constantly messing with our upstream. What we're paying for is not what we're getting, and so let me see what it's. Let me. Just testing the audio, everyone. Let's check in. We check in to make sure that we're good. So let me see what I'm seeing here. All right, I need to actually look at my mouth to make sure that we're lining up. It looks like we're good now. Hey, Chemical, Mr. Dangerous Chemical, I see you. Do we sound sync to you? Audio and video. Audio and video. Put a one in the chat. It was sounding good.
All right, we're good.
All right. So our engineer, Mr. Stingray himself, told us that we're good to go. So let's get back to it. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. All right. Yes. I appreciate everyone. Mr. L.O. Amja. Arts, you know who you are. Dangerous Chemical, you know who you are. Nix, you know who you are. Respects. All right. So it appears that when you think everything is all hunky dory, we're gonna have some kind of issues because the streaming gods is trying to interfere with our stream. You know. So we're gonna have to get the gladiators out and send the gladiators out to take care of our issues with the streaming gods. All right, so we're in for a good show today, guys. So, like I was previously saying, that Diddy, we did a show before, and we titled the show "Diddy, the Gift That Keeps on Giving." You guys should go and check that out. But we're here this past week, in this month, was 2 lawsuits that were filed. One we did a few days ago. Was with April Lampros.
April Lampros is correct.
Exactly. And now today we're doing one with Crystal McKinney. These two were done in the same week. So Diddy, for content creator, Diddy is the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you. we're a small channel, but at some point we're going to get bigger, and our studios is going to have more people, more guests, and so we're just riding the horse right now to get to that finish line. Well, it's never going to be finished, right? We're riding the horse, and we heading towards that finish line. All right. So tell a friend, share, tell a friend. Make sure you put a like in the. Make sure you put a like on the video. All right. So it gets out in the algorithm. So let's get into it, guys. It's as if I said it before, right? We went from yo pause to no Diddy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So let's coin a new one. No diddler.
No diddler. Gotta see what the people say.
Hey, what everybody say? No diddler. Put a comment in the chat if you guys agree with no Diddy and no diddler, or just no Diddy, or you guys put something in the chat, right? So it's just crazy what's going on. I think, and you guys can comment. I think, like I said before, and everybody here says, Diddy's done, right? Diddy is done. Did he do it? That's crazy. His name actually flows. Did he do it? Right? Yes, he did. Yeah, yes, he did. What were you going to say?
Did he do it? Diddy's done.
Yeah.
Diddy's over.
Yeah. Exactly.
All the good
Exactly.
stuff.
So, Diddy has been accused by Crystal McKinney for assault, essay assault. And so we're going to get into the lawsuit, and we're going to read through this together today. And you guys can follow along, right? Oh, so while I'm traveling says no Diddy, right? So I guess no diddler is not cutting it, right? No Diddy. All right. Thank you for that. While I'm traveling, I appreciate that. So, hey, let's get into it and talk about the man, the myth, Sean John Combs, now Sean Love Combs, as he changes his middle name.
You don't consider Diddy a legend anymore from this?
The man, the myth.
Yeah, and you didn't say the legend.
I didn't say the legend.
Yeah.
You want to add the legend?
It's
in?
not what I want.
I'm asking you, man.
Do
you try to correct me and say he's not a legend anymore?
No, I asked you. It's not a correction. I asked you. Do you not consider Diddy a legend anymore?
All right, let me do one of your response.
Let
me do one of your response. He's gonna go down in history as a legend of one of the persons that have gotten the most lawsuits, went from zero to a billionaire, and from a billionaire going back down to a zero. We don't know where it's going to stop, but by the end, he's going to be sharing a jail with a good friend of his, I believe.
One of the Epsteins.
No, I was thinking about R.K. Yeah, I was thinking about R. Kelly. So he's going to be sharing. He's going to be sharing a cell with R. Kelly. And hey, you know, many videos, many people. We've heard audios of him and others, males that have been having intimate moments, right? So when he goes to jail, if he does goes to jail, because we don't know, many people are saying that he's working for the feds, but I don't know. That's alleged. So it could be a fact or it could not be. I just don't know. But many people have said it. Gene Deal have said it. Kanye West have said it. Suge Knight mentioned that, alluded to that.
50 Cent.
50 cents. Many other people have said that.
I heard he offered to take 50 Cent shopping.
Oh yeah. He did. You
It's
know,
crazy.
and remember what he did with Fabulous. You know, when he was like, "Hey, when you gonna come party with me, man?" Like party. You know, people say that when he say party, it means you come to the party in the big house, and then you go to the party in the back house.
Yeah.
And that's when the diddling happens. That's where the diddling happens. Diddly dum, right? That's where it all happens. So just be happy that these people, remember what Cat Williams says. He says, all the truth is going to be exposed in 2024, right? Mm-hmm. So when he says 2024, that just means that it's going to start coming out, right? And he called names. Remember, he called Diddy's name, right? Remember, he also called, what's the preacher's name? T.D. Jakes, right? Yeah. Names are being called, and you know that Kanye West, don't have a problem calling names because he says he's not on any contract, so he's not scared to call names.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And there have been names that have been called that says that Diddy has a handler that anytime anything is going down, that handler goes and takes care of it to make sure Diddy stays unscathed. Right?
Right.
So, with that being said, right, let's get into it. All right. So,
where do we start?
We're going to start at the top, of course. United States District Court, Southern District of New York. Crystal McKinney, plaintiff against Sean Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy, Bad Boy Entertainment, LLC, DBA Bad Boy Records, Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings, Inc., Sean John Clothing, LLC, and Universal Music Group, Inc., right? Those are the defendants. So, in the lawsuit, Crystal explain everything, and let's scroll. I want to scroll real quick and say this, and then Ray, we can pull up the lawsuit on the screen. So, the attorney for this one is.
I'm surprised she doesn't have Tyrone.
That's what I thought. You know,
attorney.
Yeah. I see here. Hey, I don't see don't see it on the screen. Yes, there it is. All right. I'm surprised that she don't have
Mr. Blackburn.
Yeah, Tyrone Blackburn, right? All right, but hey, it's still another lawsuit. So, all right. So the lawyer for this case is Michelle A. Coilia and Jonathan Gold-Hirsch. All right, New York attorneys. All right, so let's go back to the top now, and we can start by reading. So let's have fun with this one today. All right. So you want to start the reading?
Sure. Plaintiff Crystal McKinney, by and through her attorneys, Phillips and Associates, hereby alleges in a verse of the defendants, Sean Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy, Bad Boy Entertainment, LLC, Bad Boy Records, Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings, and Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings, Inc., are referred to as defendants Bad Boy Records, Sean John Clothing, LLC, and Universal Music Entertainment Group, Inc., collectively referred to as defendants, alleges upon information and belief as to all other matters as follows. This court has jurisdiction over this action pursuant to
do me one favor before you jump to the next paragraph, read the title above, nature of action, and then say one, so they can follow along, just in case they
got lost.
Yeah, got lost. They can go back. When you say one paragraph one, then they know where we are.
All right, let's bring it back up top. Nature of the action, right?
Mm-hmm.
2, this court has jurisdiction over this action pursuant to 28 USC 1332, insofar as there is complete diversity between the parties and the amount in controversy exceeds $75,000. Plaintiff is a citizen of the state of Georgia. Defendant.
No, you remember, that's why I was asking you. Just don't jump to the next one. Say the number.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
3, plaintiff is a citizen of the state of Georgia. 4, defendant Combs is a citizen of the state of California. 5, Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings Inc. is a domestic business corporation licensed to do business in New York and is headquartered at 1440 Broadway, 3rd floor, New York, New York. 118 is the zip code. Now, you want to say something?
Yeah, I take 6. So, paragraph 6 or number 6. Bad Boy Entertainment LLC is a domestic limited liability company licensed to do business in New York and is headquartered at 1440 Broadway, 3rd floor, New York, New York, 118. Number 7. Sean John Combs LLC is a domestic limited liability licensed to do business in New York and is headquartered at 1440 Broadway, New York, New York, 118. Number 8. Universal Music Group Inc. is a foreign business corporation licensed to do business in New York and is headquartered at 22200 Colorado Avenue in Santa Monica, California, 90404. Venue number 9. Venue is proper in the Southern District of New York because a substantial part of the event giving rise to the claim include but not limited to defendant Combs' assault of plaintiff occurred in this district. Procedures, requirements, the NYC Victim of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act. So here we are again.
Right.
With the Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act. So the last lawsuit that we read, this one is filed under the same lawsuit. All right. Let's see if they're going to put some of the same language like Tyrone did in the one we did for April. All right. So paragraph 10. The NYC Victim of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act, NYC Gender Motivated Violence Act, created a look-back window on March 1st, 2023, which runs for 2 years for survivors of gender-motivated violence, allowing them to sue their abuser. Regardless of when the abuse occur, NYC Admin Code subsection 10-1105A, number 11. The New York Gender Motivated Violence Act revises any claim against a party who commits, direct, enable, participates in, or conspire in the commission of a crime of violence motivated by gender, has caused of action against such party in any court of competence jurisdiction, NYC Admin Code subsection 10-1104. All right. So, like we were saying, we can jump back into this. Like we were saying, that the reason why they're putting these offenses under the Gender Motivated Violence Act is because, and they also make it so it can be retroactive. That means if someone forgets something, they can go back and make an amendment because of the trauma, they might have forgotten something, and they want to go and clarify what they've forgotten, and so the amendment is done to the suit, the lawsuit, and then it's retroactive to make sure that it applies from the day that the incident happened, which was the assault, and the complaint, which is a lawsuit, to the date and time of when the person comes in, so everything follows through and it's accurate, so they can go back and make sure that, okay, I forgot, but now I remembered, I want to add this, and now it's retroactive, and we're good to go. We don't have to worry. And where the defendant's attorney can say, oh, why didn't they add this into the original lawsuit? Right? So this is why that's done. All right. So, all right, let's continue. Number 12. Number 12, the appellate division has held that sexual assault is an act of gender-motivated violence under the law as coerced sexual activity and dehumanizing and fear-inducing malice or ill will based on gender is apparent from the alleged commission of the act itself. Animus inheres where consent is absent. So that means that if someone says there is basically explaining that you have to give consent and follow through with the consent, and then someone may give consent, and then after they give consent, they can go back and say they take away the consent. So if someone didn't go back and take the consent, it could be that they weren't coerced into it due to some kind of malicious act, like being induced by drugs or liquor. Because if someone is impaired, they can't necessarily give consent and fulfill consent without any objections. They are going to have some objections once they go back and see that, hey, something is wrong here. I don't remember doing this. I don't remember doing that. But how did I end up here? And so they want to make sure that they put certain things in place to prevent or to help the abused to protect themselves against the abuser, right? So they reference a case, Priest versus Higgins, 180 AD. I'm not going to read that part, right? So you guys can just read over it. You'll see.
I think that's abbreviation for appellate division. Sorry.
It could be. Yeah. I think so, yeah. So I'm not a lawyer here, guys. I just have some legal understanding, and I review many agreements. But I'm not an attorney. I'm not an attorney, so some of the legal jargons I won't necessarily know, but I understand a lot of it. Okay. Trust me. There are people that can attest to that. All right. So number 13. All right. The above described conduct of defendant Combs, including but not limited to defendants Combs' sexual assault of plaintiff in New York City, constitute a crime of violence and a crime of violence motivated by gender against plaintiff as defined by the New York, which is the NYC Gender Motivated Violence Act. It almost seems like they've been having a conversation with Tyrone.
Probably.
Yeah, because the wording is kind of like similar, right? Yeah. But hey, they're attorneys, so they can definitely pull this up, right? All right. So let's continue here. Do you want to take parties?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Go
parties. Defendant Combs, 14. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Puff Daddy or Diddy, is a Grammy-awarded musician, rapper, and producer. In 1992, P. Diddy founded Defendant's Bad Boy Records. In 2016, P. Diddy was the first male rapper to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Pause for a second. I think you just confused me when you say in 2008, 16. So I mean, 16, number 16 in 2008. That's what you meant to say, but you said 16
I think you heard it backwards.
because you said it back because you said it backwards. All right, say
All right, let me keep going.
yeah.
17 in 2022.
No, read 16
Forbes
again. Read 16 before you go to 17.
16 in 2008, P. Diddy was the first male rapper to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 17.
All right, pause for a second. Ray, I know he's a bad guy, but let's give him a round of applause for that. All right, let's give him a round of applause for that.
For what?
For being the first to get a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yeah, we still have to give him. We still have to give him his accomplishments. We can't just go in and just nudging at him without. He made certain accomplishments that allowed other people to follow in his footsteps, so they could get their star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
So I think my question earlier suits now. Do you still consider him a legend? Because you didn't add legend to his name. The man, the myth, and then you went blank.
I didn't go blank. I just stopped.
What do you not consider him a legend now?
He's a legend, but I have to also say that
Question answered.
the legend and the legacy are tied into one. So when people
Absolutely.
think in terms of him being a legend, they're going to think in terms of him being a pedo, being a trafficker, being an abuser,
Yeah.
being a toxic narcissist,
It's coming with the territory.
being a woman beater, everything that comes along with that kind of behavior, they're going to remember him for. Yes, he has his accolades, but I said this to someone that I had a bit of back and forth with. I said, if you did two good things, right? Two good things.
You're right.
Does that negate the other from 1 to 10? A scale from 1 to 10. If you did two good things, does that negate the other 8 bad things you did? So if you did 8 bad things and now you did 2 good things, what do you think people are going to remember most? The 2 good things you remember or the 8 bad things you did? Which you think they're going to remember more?
Yeah, they're going to remember majority of the negative.
All right, everybody. So everybody chime in here. If you're still there, chime in here. What do you think people are going to remember most? The bad things or the good things? Which is going to stand out? You guys put a comment in the chat. All right. So we're in 17?
Yep.
All right. So number 17, take it.
17 in 2022, Forbes estimated that P. Diddy is one of the wealthiest hip hop artists in America, and that his net worth is over $1 billion. 18. Upon information and belief, P. Diddy has a long history of committing physical and sexual violence against women and men, as documented in publicly available lawsuits and extensive media coverage. On November 16th, 2023, Cassie Venture, an artist signed into Bad Boy Records, filed a suit in the United States District Court of the Southern District of New York, alleging that Combs provided her with copious amounts of drugs before sexually assaulting her. Damn.
So you see,
That would have been a good time to drop it, Ray. Yeah.
So you see, everything is being tied in, right? Remember, when it rains,
Pause.
it pours. Do you remember?
It pours.
Do you remember? You know that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When you remember the other day I was talking to you about when you've been abused by someone, and you are fearful to tell someone else because the protection, the umbrella of protection will be taken off of you, and then when it rains, it starts pouring because you don't know what that rain will come with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, for Diddy, he rained on everybody else. Storm, thunder, earthquake. He rained on everybody else, right? I remember I heard Jaguar Wright said that, I think it was her, that there was another singer that wanted to be signed to Bad Boy. I think his name was Christopher Williams, and it said allegedly, this is what was said. It's in public. It's in public forums. It's on websites. It's all over social media, right? It has been said. So what I'm going to repeat is those are not my words. Those are the words of that have already been said. I'm just going to regurgitate. So Christopher Williams, I believe that's the artist, and he was in the office because he wants to get signed to Bad Boy, and someone walked him and caught him giving fellatio to
What?
Yeah, caught him giving fellatio to Diddy.
Oh.
Right? And
That's crazy.
Why?
Diddy looked up and they didn't stop. And it said that he said, if I can get a man to do this, I can do anything.
What?
Right? Yeah. So he's been raining on people for a long time, right? There's talk of what he did to Usher and put Usher in the hospital, right? And Usher had to get stitches, in his private areas.
Damn.
Right? There's talks of him having intimacies with males and the freak off parties. There's the guy that was arrested for shooting guns in the mall. I believe it was a Doral Mall. Jonathan Odie talked about him being the escort and performing intercourse with Cassie while Diddy was pleasuring himself in a corner and watching the both of them, and that he had them both, or all three of them, was on drugs, right? So he's been, according to what people have been saying, and people have been in his circle have been saying that he's been doing this for a while, right? So he's been raining down on people for a while. So this is not far-fetched from what these lawsuits are saying. It's not far-fetched because it's been years and years and years that this has been going on, right? And now, where there's smoke,
There's fire.
there's fire.
There is fire.
There is fire. So now, what's happening? It's the fire has started burning. Hey,
There's no other way to put it.
There's no other way to put it.
There's no other way.
Yes, sir. All right. So now, what number are we on?
We are on 20. Take it away.
All right. Number 20. On November 23, 2023, Joey Dickerson O'Neill filed suit in the Supreme Court of New York County, alleging that Combs drugged her, sexually assaulted her, and filmed a revenge porn tape of his assault. You see that? He drugged and assaulted her and recorded it, but they said that that's what he does, right? Number 21. On November 21, on November 23, 2023, Lisa Gardner filed suit. Yet another one. Lisa Gardner filed suit in the Supreme Court of New York County, alleging that Combs and Harrenhal sexually assaulted her when she was a minor. And this was spoken about before this lawsuit.
What?
This was mentioned before this lawsuit was filed. Give me a second here. I need to scroll up for a second, right? This was
Yeah, there's some trouble, man.
yeah. Let me scroll back down. So we're in 20, right?
Yeah.
So this was being talked about before this lawsuit was filed. Right? All right. Number 21. On November, number 21, on November 23, 2023, did I read that already?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone. No, number 22. On December 6, 2023, a Jane Doe filed suit in the United States District of Court. Sorry. A Jane Doe filed suit in the United States District Court of the Supreme District of New York, alleging that when she was a minor, she was gang raped by Combs, Harvey Pierre, and a third unnamed assailant. Number 23. On February, because they're bad guys. On February 26, 2024, Rodney Jones filed suit in the United States District Court of Southern District of New York, alleging that Combs sexually assaulted him and provided laced alcohol beverages to minors. Defendants Bad Boy Records. Number 24. In 1992, Combs founded Bad Boy Record, a record label which has sold over 500 million records, and where he produced records by Mary J. Blige, the Notorious B.I.G., and Usher. Defendant Universal Music Group. Number 25. On February 6, 2003, Combs signed a distribution deal with Universal Records, now Universal Music Group, for Defendant Bad Boy Records. Number 26. From 2003, that's 2003, to 2005, that's 2005, and 2009, that's 2009, to present, Universal Music Group has and continued to distribute Bad Boy Records catalog. All right. So as you can see in this lawsuit, they're going after the gusto. Like the other lawsuit, they're going after the gusto because they feel like as if because of their consistent aiding, it is as if they aided and abetted him in doing these crimes because they sponsored his parties, they distributed his music, and they made sure that the media made him look like a media darling, and people were suffering in the meantime. Now, there are many entrepreneurs, many CEOs, everyone. Many. And some are very kind and some are very mean. And then there's the other ones. You have the not so kind ones, and you have the mean ones. And they get, the mean ones get away with it because they're not doing these overly egregious things. And then there are the ones that feel that as if they're untouchable. They operate like as if they're Elliot Ness or any one of these kingpins that feels as if they're untouchable. But hey, they can't get away from the long arms of the law. Everybody, right? So you can take Sean John Clothing. That's number.
Sean John Clothing LLC. 27. In 1998, Combs founded Sean John, which has retail sales of over $450 million. 28. As CEO and president of the company, defendant Combs was representing Sean John when he attended the Men's Fashion Week dinner where he met plaintiff. Factual allegations. Plaintiff begins her modeling career. 29. At the age of 17, plaintiff won, and for the record, viewers, the plaintiff is the lady by the name, what was her name again?
Crystal McKinney.
Crystal McKinney.
Mm-hmm.
Just for context. Plaintiff won MTV's inaugural model mission on December 5th, 1998. a televised modeling competition akin to Miss America and was awarded a modeling contract with IMG. 30. Shortly thereafter, plaintiff's career took off. 31. Plaintiff modeled for a Tommy Hilfiger jeans campaign. 32. Plaintiff was also featured in Macy's catalogs, Elle, Cosmopolitan, and Mademoiselle magazines. 33. Plaintiff also made appearances in television and film programs such as MTV's Total Request Live, Fashionably Loud, True Life, and a movie with Joanne Rivers. 34. Furthermore, plaintiff had international modeling gigs in Germany and Australia. So she had it going on.
Mm-hmm.
She had it going on. You want to take the next part of it? Or
A fashion designer invites plaintiff to that one?
Yeah.
All right. I'll take it. All right. So, all right. So now the next part of this is I guess it's going to get into more so the fashion industry. So let's see. So we're at number 35.
Five, yeah.
Right. So a fashion designer invites plaintiff to Men's Fashion Week to meet Combs. Number 35. In 2003, that's 2003, when plaintiff was 22 years old, a fashion designer, the designer, invited plaintiff to attend a Men's Fashion Week event held at Cipriani downtown,
Yeah.
located at 376 West Broadway, New York, 10012. Number 36. At that time, plaintiff was engaged in modeling gigs in Miami, Florida, flew to New York for the events. Oh, so that was a good trip. All right. So, number 37. The designer told plaintiff that he would be introducing her to Combs, which could advance her modeling career. Number 38. Now see where this is going.
Right.
Number 38. The designer began to direct plaintiffs what's that word? I just went blank.
The designer began to direct plaintiff's appearance as he sought to ensure Combs found her attractive.
Okay. Number 39. For instance, the designer instructed plaintiff to go to Elizabeth Arden to get a root touch up to her to ensure it was a platinum blonde. Hey, the colors that they wear in fashion, right? We see it all the time. Number 40.
Okay.
Hi, everybody, we're reading through this lawsuit, and follow along, and you can always comment, right? All right. So number 40. The designer also scheduled a stylist to putting hair extension for plaintiff. Number 41. The designer then handpicked a black leather coat with a fur hood and translucent chiffon, beige V-cut shirt, fur-lined handbag, and jewels encrusted jeans for plaintiff to wear to the event. Wow. She must have been dazzling.
Mm-hmm. She gotta have a drip. She a model.
Yeah, I can picture it right now. I can actually picture it. Number 42. Due to the traumatic events to occur later, plaintiffs saved the unwashed clothing from that night in her closet, where they remain in a plastic wrap.
Brother, what's that?
Well, everybody,
What's that, brother?
I have to read this again. I have to read this again. Due to the traumatic events, that's number 42, everyone. Due to the traumatic events to occur later, plaintiff saved the unwashed clothing from that night in her closet where they remain in a plastic wrap. Yeah, this is very interesting. Wow. I wonder how long. I wonder how long she had that saved. Because it appears that let's continue, man. Let me not give this away. Because guys, I'm reading it for the first time too. You know, I just skimmed through the first top, but I didn't read all the way through, because if I read all the way through, I wouldn't have the same reaction that I'm having now. So understand that. Okay. So Combs makes promises of career advancement. Career advance. All right. So number 43. Let's see what these promises entails. Soon thereafter, plaintiff took a car to Cipriani downtown, where the designer was dining with Combs and other guests. Number 44. Plaintiff left little control over the event. Plaintiff left little control over the event as she was directed what to do. Huh?
It says plaintiff felt little control
See?
over the event.
That's my dyslexia. That's my I deserve that one. That's my dyslexia, everyone. You see, I am not. I may be great, but I'm not the greatest. I'm trying. I'm striving. Just hope that I can become better. I will say that I'm only human. I'm going to make 1,000,001 plus one more mistake on a daily basis, but I can just try to be better every day, right?
Okay.
Stupid. So, let do me a favor. Send a message, a telepathic message to the universe to help me see what I'm reading here. Yeah. All right. Plaintiff felt little control over the event as she was directed what to do and put on display for the others in attendance. Wow, she must have been a mannequin. Number 45. For instance, plaintiff sat down at an empty seat, excuse me, next to the designer, but he insisted that she sat down directly across from Combs instead. Number 46. Once seated, Combs made a very public display of coming on to plaintiff in a sexual, suggestive manner, which continued throughout the dinner. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess you see that he has no. He feels that he's invincible, so he's going to make these advances. But so this is kind of not blaming the victim, but it's also kind of subjective because we weren't there. This is what she's saying, but hey, it's detailed. So they're putting information in that would paint a picture for you to understand that what she's saying could possibly be true. I hope so that this is not a Amber Heard situation, right? But hey, may the gods be with him. Let's continue.
You want me to take this?
Number 47?
Yeah,
continue.
47. For others to hear, Combs bestowed compliments on plaintiff by stating, for example, that she was beautiful and that her eyes were gorgeous. 48. Later, and at a more intimate volume, Combs told plaintiff was going to make it big one day as a model. 49. Combs went on to tell plaintiff that he had power in the industry and was going to help her advance her career. 50. Combs provided plaintiff with his phone number as a gesture of good faith in his promises to help her. 51. Throughout their interactions, Combs was flirtatious, bordering on leering as he leaned across the table towards her. Right, bordering on leering as he leaned across the table towards her. 52. Combs also plied plaintiff with alcohol throughout the dinner as he repeatedly refilled her glass with wine.
Damn. You see the intention there.
53. After the meal ended, Combs told plaintiff that he wanted to get to know her better. 54. Combs asked plaintiff to call him a bit later. 55. Plaintiff felt confused but hopeful that Combs would fulfill his promise to help her career. And there it is. There it is.
Isn't that kind of hairy to what we read in the last lawsuit?
Right, with the girl April.
Yes, with April.
Her being a student at the Fashion Institute.
Exactly.
He would help her get gigs here. And
exactly. Exactly. It's the same old playbook. Written and distributed by Combs Publishing.
By Bad Boy. By Bad Boy.
No. Combs Publishing. All right. Bad Boy Publishing. Hey, that might be more fitting.
He was
Bad Boy. Yeah, Bad Boy Publishing.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know, he's. You know what's kind of crazy? I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, in the 90s, there were two labels that constantly going back and forth fighting: Bad Boy and Death Row. The CEO of Death Row is Suge Knight, right? And the CEO of Bad Boy is Sean Combs, right? Death Row, Bad Boy goes on Death Row. The CEO of Death Row is spending a long time in prison, right?
Okay.
He's not on death row, but hey, he's in prison for he's going to be in prison for a long time. So we can kind of like say that, hey, that could be a death row. Now, the Bad Boy, all of the bad things that the Bad Boy has been doing is coming to light. Now, the Bad Boy is going to possibly share a cell with Death Row. So Bad Boy is now going to be signed to Death Row.
I don't know. You kind of lost me there.
You don't get it? Sure. Okay. Let me say it again. Bad Boy and Death Row. Okay. You're a bad boy before you do something bad and go on death row, right?
Okay.
The one that was running death row is in prison now.
Mm-hmm.
His life is kind of like over. That's kind of like death row. You get it?
Okay.
All right. And then the one that was running Bad Boy, all his bad deeds are coming out. So he's possibly going to end up in prison in the same system with Death Row. And if it was like a label, Bad Boy is going to be signed to Death Row. You don't get it yet.
I can see the comparison you're trying to make. Me, I'm looking at it as far as like what Suge Knight was charged with.
Don't look at that. This is why you and I go back and forth, because I'm
what Puffy's being accused of.
No.
And the fact that he's still a free man.
No, listen. I'm putting some satire here right now. Bad Boy and Death Row. Death Row's in prison. Bad Boy's going to prison, and they're both going to share the same kind of live in the same kind of environment.
Yeah, they will endure the same punishment.
Exactly. Much. The Bad Boy and the Death Row. All right, let's continue. So,
okay,
man,
who you want to take this one, or you want to let me?
The plaintiff meets Combs at studio.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take this one, and then you can jump in. Right?
Go ahead.
I like that, Ray.
Which one?
Ow! The Michael Jackson. Yeah. That's
good. Let's not bring Mike into this discussion. We're gonna
no. That was all right. So, plaintiff meets Combs at his studio where he drugged and sexually assaulted. Oh boy. I wasn't expecting that one. I didn't even skim it over. Where he
What the
drugged,
hell, boy?
yeah, where he drugged and sexually assaulted her. Number 56. Later that night, Combs requested plaintiff to come to his studio located at 321 West 44th Street, New York, 10036. Number 57. Plaintiff felt, you see how I see all my dyslexia,
Yeah.
flip it.
Stupid.
Yeah, I deserve that too. Plaintiff felt reassured that she would be with others at the studio rather than alone in a personal residence. When plaintiff arrived, she found that Combs and several other men seated together. Ooh. Number 59. She found that they were passing around a bottle of Hennessy and joints. Number 60. After plaintiff sat down, one of Combs' associates asked her, "Do you smoke weed?" To which she responded affirmatively. Number 61. Combs' associate replied, "You've never had weed like this before." Huh. I wonder if it was laced. Let's continue. Number 62. Plaintiff later came to understand that Combs had. What did I say? What did I say? That's why, hey, everyone, this is why I did not read it, because I wanted that reaction when I read it, when I started reading it, that I saw. Like, I didn't expect that. I just said it. I didn't expect that. And guess what? It is what it is.
It was laced.
It's laced. All right, so let's read it again. Let's read it again. That was number 62, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number 62. Plaintiff later came to understand that Combs had laced the joint with narcotic and other intoxicating substance. Number 63. Combs passed her the joint and plaintiff took a hit which felt very powerful. Number 64. Although plaintiff insisted that she had enough after that, Combs pressured her to imbibe more alcohol and marijuana by telling her she was acting too uptight. That's that passive aggressive. Oh, you're so uptight when someone don't want to do something. Oh, you're so uptight.
Right.
All right. 65. Plaintiff felt, I got it right this time. Plaintiff felt as if she was floating. Number 66. Seeing plaintiff was very intoxicated, Combs demanded plaintiff to follow him, and he physically led plaintiff to the bedroom.
Bathroom.
No,
Stupid.
No, guys. I said bedroom for a reason. All right? I said bedroom for a reason. So, instead of taking her to the bedroom, he's going to demoralize her now. Rather than taking her, he's going to add injury. Like, you get a wound, a cut, and you pour like salt or alcohol. You ever get a cut and you pour alcohol on it so it don't get infected?
Yeah.
That's kind of like this. So he's going to take her into the bathroom rather than the bedroom, right? So rather physically led her into the bathroom, but I purposely said bedroom.
Okay.
So in the bathroom, Combs forced himself on plaintiff and began kissing her without her consent. Combs then shoved her head down to his crotch before commanding her to suck it. Now, Didn't we read this in a previous lawsuit?
Yeah.
The
Whereas
same thing.
similar, she was in the parking lot
Mm-hmm.
walking with him, and he forced her to give him oral sex with the parking attendant still
Watching.
present. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Why? You know what? I always wonder. I always wonder this. If I was a woman and somebody's gonna grab my head and force me to do something to them with my mouth, I have teeth. I have teeth. That person would have been walking around with a nub. I am so serious. Right?
We gotta ask some of our female guests that. What do they think about that?
Listen, man. You know what? Let me call somebody and ask, and let me see who I could call and ask.
That's
Let me see if I could call somebody and ask somebody. Give me a second, guys. Let me see if I could call because this is quite interesting. Let me see who I could call and ask. Who could I call and ask? All right, give me a second, guys. I think I might have somebody to call and ask.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see if she pick up. Let me see if she pick up. Hopefully she picks up. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Hey, take the next one in the meantime.
Where were you again?
I was at 68. I've just read 68.
Okay. 69. Plaintiff refused, but Combs pushed her head down onto his phallus and forced her to perform oral sex on him. 70. As she was being assaulted, plaintiff felt panicked and physically sick. 71. Afterwards, Combs led plaintiff back into the studio. Upon standing and walking, plaintiff felt more and more woozy and then lost consciousness. Plaintiff awakened in shock to find herself in a taxi cab heading back to the designer's apartment. 74. As her consciousness returned, plaintiff realized that she had been sexually assaulted by Combs. 75. Plaintiff felt humiliated and traumatized and without recourse.
No one is no one is picking up. It's Memorial Day, maybe they're out doing their Memorial Day thing, All right, so what number are we in?
Combs' assault has caused plaintiff lifelong harm is the title. And
what number? What number? Just tell me the number.
76.
Okay. All right. All right. So number 76. 1 second, guys. 1 second here. I have something. Where is that? Okay, cool. All right. Just doing something here, guys. Give me a second. You got that?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, so you had read 76?
No, that you.
Okay, I was gonna. Okay, all right, all right. So we're back again. All right, all right. Now, before we get to 76, as everyone can see, Combs' assault has caused plaintiff lifelong harm. So now we're gonna jump to 76. Following the assault, plaintiff's modeling opportunities quickly began to dwindle, and then evaporated entirely. Sounds familiar. Number 77. Upon information and belief, Combs had plaintiff blackballed. Same like before. Blackballed in the industry and utilized his significant influence to impede plaintiff's career growth. Number 78, plaintiff became severely depressed as she began to blame herself for the assault and for sabotage in her own career. See that? That means she was mind manipulated too. So I believe that he was saying things to her,
Right.
to make her feel as if she is the one that caused all of that to happen, because she allowed herself to get intoxicated. She allowed herself to do this. She followed him. Right? Have you ever been out to a club?
Of course.
All right. Have you ever seen someone not fully intoxicated, but tipsy?
Yeah.
And you could just simply make a suggestion to them and they're like, okay, and follow you along. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right?
You sound
So-
like the stream deck. Okay.
You know, I got stream decked.
Okay.
So I think that based on the things that he said to her after the assault, it made her believe that she was the one that sabotaged her own career. Right? All right. So number 79. The assault led plaintiff into a tailspin of anxiety and depression. Number 80. In or about 2004, which is 2024, plaintiff attempted suicide and was hospitalized. Severe depression. That's what that is. Severe depression.
She attempted suicide.
She attempted to off herself. That means that she felt when a person is willing to do that without any account for people that love them, they reached a level of depression that they feel totally what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for a particular word. Where they feel it's so severe that they lost all hope. They're hopeless. They can't come back from that.
Their dignity.
It's more than just their dignity. It's their dignity, their pride, their self-worth. Everything wrapped up into one. Hopelessness. When hopelessness set in, it's like, have you ever seen a person have you ever seen a person falling asleep? Or you know what it's like when you're falling asleep? You're like,
you're in and out at first.
yeah.
And then you just doze off.
Exactly.
Dream state. Yeah.
Right? And somebody, and music could be boom, 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 right beside you, and you won't even hear it. It was like you block it out. Right?
I don't know about that, G.
You haven't.
If I got music right next to me.
You haven't been so sleepy that you fell asleep with music playing? You have never fell asleep with music?
Music is playing, but it's not right next to my ear.
Okay. I have seen people falling asleep with music. I remember I was at a club, and this girl and this guy they were drinking, and they leaned on the speaker. I mean, big speaker with I think it was probably like two or four 12-inch speakers in a box, and they leaned on it and fell asleep leaning on it. And we had to go move them because they were just like,
They probably were intoxicated.
they were sleeping. When we
They
moved
probably were intoxicated, lit.
all right.
Lit.
Okay. So that's akin to hopelessness. Everything is lost. Nothing else matter. The music didn't matter. No one in the club matter. Nothing else mattered. They just went in, and that was it. Right? So I use that as an example because you're a music guy. So I use it as an example that someone could be so gone that they don't even realize anything. They're surrounding.
Guilty.
They don't care
If you
about
like-
it. They're just
Yeah, I mean, engineers per se, when you're in the middle of a session and it's 5 a.m. and you're dozing off and you're dozing off and you're dozing off, but that can be with the music
Guilty.
going in and out.
If you
Because you're
Guilty.
controlling the parts of the music you're playing. See what I mean?
Yeah.
But I understand what you're talking about. I've seen it then.
okay. All right. So so
I think you're on
Guilty.
79.
anxiety and depression. No, 2020. I did 2024, which is number 80. All right. So number
Okay.
81, everyone. Everywhere plaintiff looked, she was reminded of Combs' assault. Combs' assault, as Combs was an inaccessible presence.
Inescapable
See?
presence in music.
My dilemma
Stupid.
yes, thank you. My dilemma in dyslexia.
It's serious, bro.
Yeah, it's serious. Yeah, it's serious. Sometimes I remember the other day when I was reading I was like flowing right through it, right? And now it's like I'm stumbling and fumbling, right?
Nah, you was flowing on the you stumbling on the other one too, but
It wasn't that bad.
yeah.
All right.
I mean, you all right. You got me. You're good.
All right, cool. Inescapable presence in music, television, and film. In the ensuing years, plaintiff has also experienced alcohol and drug addiction as she attempted to cope with the emotional trauma of being assaulted. Number 83. Plaintiff also experienced intimacy issues as she struggled to maintain emotional and sexual relationships with men. Of course, I mean, if you are assaulted like that, you feel demoralized, demeaning. How are you going to trust someone? Many guys, many men could be good to you prior to that, but that one guy came in that you had all your hopes and dreams in as a woman, and what happened? That one guy
Discombobulated your emotions.
destroyed everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, the other guys, or the man or husband comes in and tried to pick up the pieces, and what? He's held accountable for what the other guy did, and then he has to suffer through those emotional turmoil.
Or he's gonna be in a position where he's having to figure you out.
Yeah.
Sometimes women don't understand that. They just feel like, oh, he doesn't care, or oh, he doesn't do this and that. Nah, I'm trying to figure out why are you acting in this manner emotionally.
And okay, I'll tell you something.
Okay.
I've been with a woman that have been assaulted like that before,
Mm-hmm.
right? Honestly, actually, I know more than one of them. Personal experience with them,
Right.
right? This one particular one, and everybody, this one is actually true. This is really true. When I tell, no, it's not a lie. When I talk about things here, I talk about things of personal experience that happened to me. We can jump back in this camera right here. Things that personally happened to me, or things that have happened to people that are very close to me and they've told me about it. And you can look at them and look in their faces and their eyes while they're telling you. And when they're telling you, you can empathize. You can feel what they're feeling, right? You become very empathetic, and you can feel what they're feeling and realize that they're telling the truth. So this one young lady I was dealing with, and I could not figure out why no matter what I did, I couldn't win for losing. No matter what I did, it was never enough. There's always an issue. She always finds some kind of something to say, I did it, I caused it. I was even blamed for a past experience just because I left I believe I left the apartment and I didn't answer the phone when she called. I told her I was going to the grocery store and I didn't answer. That one wasn't necessary. And I didn't answer. The only reason why I didn't answer was inside the grocery store. And sometimes you're inside a building and the phone is not working. It's not picking up. And when I got back, she was like, who were you with? What were you doing? I'm like, I just went to the store. I just went to pick up what I told you I was going to pick up. But I tried to call you. And I said, my phone didn't ring. See? So what did you need? Oh, I wanted you to pick up some milk. And I said, you're going on like this for milk? Something else is going on. She would not tell me. Years later, I found out because she confessed why she was doing the things. Right? But I was already deep in with her emotionally. Right? So I couldn't just walk away.
Right.
All right? All right, so let me continue.
She belongs to the streets.
Now she probably does.
No.
She's doing good now?
Yeah, she's all right.
Stop the cap.
Cool.
Yeah. She's all right. She's more mature now.
But
she's more mature, but sometimes she's still
emotionally distraught.
I won't get further in it. I'll leave that one. I'll leave that one alone. So
Guilty.
plaintiff was married from no. Well, this was the one. This one I didn't see this one coming, but let's see. Plaintiff was married from approximately 2006 to 2010. So 2006 to 2010. However, her marriage fell apart as she had a mental breakdown precipitated by memories of assault. Number 85. Combs' assault has altered the trajectory of plaintiff's career, denying her a successful and lucrative career in the modeling and film industry. Number 86. To this day, plaintiff experienced bouts of depression, anxiety, body image issues, feeling of worthlessness, and intimacy issues because of Combs' assault. This man have left terror in his wake. Like I would say this guy is like a tornado. He comes.
The Tasmanian devil.
The Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, I can get another one, man.
Yeah, the Tasmanian devil. That's a great one.
Tasmanian devil. Just come through, messing stuff up. That's how he personifies himself.
Yeah.
I can do anything.
Yeah. You can't do it. I can. You know, I'm the hardest hustler in the world.
That boy can't rap. Put my ball.
Yo.
Right. All right.
Shout out to Ray on the boards, man.
I wish we could do a thumbnail with half of his face as a Tasmanian and half of his face as Diddy.
You probably could. It's 2024, G.
Nah,
Maybe.
because the owners of the Tasmanian devil will strike that. Yeah, they will strike that. So we can't use it.
I think I would have just took the strike and still went out there. It's
Nah.
2024.
The year has nothing to do with it. You know what's crazy?
We're
You know what's
in a
crazy?
new day now.
People always, hey, you millennials always think that, always think that because it's 2024,
Go for it.
you should just go for it and just
Tell me it's wrong.
and bump the consequences.
No, it's not bump the consequences. We'll deal with the consequences when they come. This is content. I'm going out there. I'm putting it out there. Half Tasmanian, half Diddy face. And if the people at who owns the Tasmanian Devil, Warner Brothers, I think.
I don't know. Let's look it up.
They'll have to strike me, and then I'll take it down. That's how the millennials rose, man. So, man. 1 point for the '90s babies and Gen Zs.
Let's go.
Tasmanian. Tasmanian. Hold on. Devil.
I think we on 88, right?
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, 87.
Hold on. Let me. Warner Brothers. You're right.
Right?
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers is gonna have to strike that,
Oh, really?
and then we'll take it down, and then we'll change it. As a matter of fact.
Let's go.
All right, let's continue, man. All right, so we were plaintiff. Okay, so we were at 87, right?
Yep.
Take 87.
87. Plaintiff is a woman of faith, and when she saw news coverage of the lawsuits from Cassie Ventura, Miss Dickerson Neal, and others, she knew she had a moral obligation to speak up. 88. Plaintiff prayed to G to, I'm guessing that's abbreviated as God.
Where? Which
on
one?
88. Plaintiff prayed to God
Yeah.
before bringing this lawsuit, as she feared further violence and or retaliation from defendant Combs, but ultimately decided that she needed to speak her truth. 89. Plaintiff seeks justice for herself and for any of other Combs's victims.
All right.
Any thoughts there? Cause
Give me a second.
Good job.
All right. So, what number was that? 89.
From 87 to 89.
All right. You want me to read it over?
You could if you want.
Plaintiff is a woman of faith, and when she saw news coverage of the lawsuits from Miss Casaventura, Miss Dickerson Neal, and others, she knew she had a moral obligation to speak up. Because now she's not fearful anymore. The protection of the umbrella of protection has now been risen. So now it's been raining. It's been pouring out there.
Mm-hmm.
And now the umbrella has been opened, and all the victims are going under it for shelter. So when she saw that, she decided that I can be sheltered too. So now she felt comfortable to walk out and run into and under, run out of the rain and under the umbrella. And because she's protected now. Can't threaten her, can't intimidate her anymore, can't make her feel absolutely demoralized anymore, because now she has been, the umbrella of protection has been opened.
This is interesting here.
Does my analogy make sense?
Yeah, but I wanted to look into how long has she been distant from Diddy?
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter whether I said
have you been distant from him.
It doesn't.
One, and two.
Explain why. I'm just curious why you want to know how long she's been distant from him.
Because
bring up the mic closer to your mouth so you
it says
bring up the mic closer to your mouth. No, just bring up the mic.
It says that she's seen news coverage that Cassie and Miss Dickerson and others came forth with lawsuits.
Okay.
But in Cassie's case, you see the timeline. And I'm pretty sure in the Miss Dickerson Neal, you see the timeline. So I'm just interested to know how long was she distant from Diddy? Because if you've been distant from him for a good while, then certain threats that you were afraid of when you were closer to him wouldn't matter.
It's not about the threats.
So what is it about then? Because the threats is what I'm assuming why she wouldn't come forth.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Let me explain.
Please do. I'm all ears.
Okay.
Great job, buddy.
I asked you the other day if I had the power. I asked you who had more power, Diddy or Jay-Z. Remember?
Yeah.
And you say you immediately no, just bring up, just screw it up and bring it. Just screw it. Yes, and bring it up.
Go ahead.
So-
you can finish making your point.
All right. So and you say it was, you said that it was Jay-Z, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I said no.
And influence.
And I said no, it's Diddy, because the one thing that Diddy did differently from everybody else, he did the recording of everybody. Every room in his house had a camera. He recorded everything. He's recorded his vile acts, and he recorded everything because he wanted to do a documentary. So that because he has that blackmailing asset over people, he has the power over them. It doesn't matter if they have millions or billions. Right? It doesn't matter how much money they have. You Charles, hold on, you Charles, can be more powerful than a billionaire.
All because of videos I may have.
All because
of
of a video you may have of him.
Okay, I can understand.
And you
that
don't even
point.
have to you don't even have to use the mail to extort him. You don't even have to use it. You don't have to show him. You can just tell him, say, hey, watch your step with me, because I have content on you. And if anything happened to me, the content is going to go out. And I watched the movie a while, and I'm answering it this way because I'm getting back to your point when you want to know how long they've been apart. And in what I'm taking from that is that because they've been so apart for so long, those fears and issues should
Yeah, I'm
all right?
assuming it would have went away.
So I was saying this. If a person, you, that has no money, broke, and I'm a billionaire, rich, right? Money up the wazoo. And you caught me in a compromising situation. You can use that video to control me. I watched a movie a while back. And
Wow.
I watched a movie a while back where this person, this woman, I believe it was I think it was a woman, and she had a video on a corrupt politician. And every day she programmed the software, and the software has the video on a timer.
Gotcha, bitch.
And if she don't get home, if she don't get home at a certain time to reset the timer, it automatically goes to all the media. So she told him, and she showed him the timer. So him and his cronies, his army, they were after her. No, they were after the timer, and they went to her, tried to intimidate her,
Gotcha, bitch.
and they constantly had to let her go, and they would follow her to see where she would go to turn the timer off. But what she did, she had a fail-safe. She told someone that, hey, if you don't hear from me every day at this time, right, you don't reset the timer. The person didn't see the video. She also have a phone, and her phone, she have it set to where she opened the person and said reset, right? They got to
That's
her,
scary.
got her phone, and send the message, reset. Right? But what she also did was tell the person that when she said reset, she's going to do something specific with the text. So she did something specific with the text so the person will know it's her. So what they did, they got her, tied her up somewhere, got her phone, went through her phone. Yeah, went through her phone and saw that she sent this particular number, reset. Right? And so they called, because a current politician called his people at the police department to trace the number. They traced the number and found where the number was coming from. And they triangulated with the towers that it was hitting to find the phone. Right? But what they didn't know, it was a burner phone that forwarded the message to another phone. So when they triangulated the phone, they couldn't find the phone. They did not find the phone, but they triangulated the phone and found it in an area. And they went up and down and around trying to find this. You understand? The phone. They couldn't find the phone. Gotcha, and at the end of the day, they thought she was bluffing. Right? And they killed her.
Damn.
And right as they killed her, the video came out. I forgot the name of the movie. Right?
Seems like a very interesting movie.
And in the video, it said, if you don't find me alive, and at this address, on this day that this video was released, this person did it. And these are the people in the police force that helped him do it. These are the other politicians that aided and abetted him in doing it. Right? And the media watched the video, watched the whole thing, and a slew of arrests started taking place. Right? All right. I say all of that to say this because I want you to understand. It doesn't matter how long she's been away. The fear that he imposed on her was far more powerful than her own will. So the length of time, it could be 50 years. If something happened to someone and they're not fabricating it, it could be 50 years and they will still remember what was done to them. Because you know what? The truth, you can't fabricate the truth. You can fabricate a lie, but you can't fabricate the truth. You will if it happened to you, you will remember it for the rest of your life, even if you try to block it out. Right? Because something will come up that trigger that memory, and you're going to react accordingly because what happened triggered that memory. So it doesn't matter. So you asking the question how long she was apart away from Puffy, is telling me, is saying to me indirectly that all of that emotion that she was experiencing should have just been gone. You ever been spanked by your parents?
Time out.
Yeah, go ahead.
You say indirectly, like I didn't make myself clear when I said I suppose it would have been gone.
No, you didn't say that.
Well, no, you just forgot.
No, you didn't say
I
that.
said that.
No, you didn't say that.
But we'll bring it back full circle because you made a very long point.
Ray was listening. You didn't say that part.
Ray, it doesn't matter at this point. But to bring it full circle,
yeah.
If she's been away for a while, understood.
I don't understand.
Let me finish. Understood that the fear that he put on her may have had her, still feel some type of way. But that was just something that came across my mind. If you're not around someone for as you were before, and now you're seeing all these lawsuits come out, that is what pretty much triggered you to come forth and to tell your truth. Not saying that it didn't happen. That's not what I'm saying here. But me, I just took observance to that. That's pretty much all it is.
Okay. I have one last question before we continue.
Because you're not around your terror anymore.
I have one last question. Have you ever been
Ask
spanked?
away.
You have your parents, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been spanked by your parents?
Yeah.
Do you remember the worst spanking your parents gave you?
Yeah.
Do you remember how it happened?
When you say how, what do you mean?
Like if they told you take your shirt off, or do you remember the belt, or do you remember how many lashings you got?
No, I do remember I ran outside though, and it got to the point where it wasn't with a belt anymore.
What was it with?
A broom and one of my shoes,
Okay.
and just her bare hands.
Okay. How did it make you feel?
It was pretty terrifying.
I know.
And I was, for the record, I was 8 years old at the time.
And how old are you now?
I'm 28.
How many years has that been?
20.
And you still remember it?
Yep. Because it was a constructive beating. It was a good
No,
beating.
no. There's a point.
What did he say?
I went with that long explanation because I was trying to get you to understand, but I realized that you still didn't understand.
I understand. Like I told you,
Stop the cap.
everyone is going to have their own mind and of how they're looking at this, bro. Everyone.
I understand.
Okay, so
But I understand I understand. You're right. But I wanted to find out if you had to have a lashing from your parents and if you remembered. And it happened 20 years ago and you still remember.
yeah.
It was a traumatic experience. And it was just a spanking. Brooms, hands, whip, whatever. Right? But this is on your outer person.
Mm-hmm.
This is not on your inner person. He did it to her inner person. It's kind of like if somebody took a knife and cut you with it. They penetrated your outer shell.
Right.
You will always remember that. Do you have a scar that you wish you never had because of something someone did or something stupid you did, and you wish you never had it?
Yeah.
Akin that to how she feel. That would hurt him.
Completely understood.
Okay.
Completely understood.
So I'm just saying that because
My point is simple. You're not around the mother anymore. What are you in fear for? Go get help. Go snitch on him. You're not around him anymore. Go and let the world know right then and there. Boom. This guy's a creep. His name's Diddy. I'm not around him anymore. X, Y, and Z, etc., etc. Period.
I have one last question to ask you before I continue. One, right? And
Ray.
I almost know the sound Ray is going to make.
Which one?
When a woman get abused by a man,
Mm-hmm.
and she called the police, what's going to happen to the man?
He's going to jail. He's getting booked.
When a woman abuses a man, and the woman called the police, what happened to the man?
You mean when a woman abuses a man and a man calls the police then?
It doesn't matter whether the woman called the police. Aha, there it goes.
No, that's not what you were waiting
That's
for.
what I was waiting on.
I don't think it was, but go ahead.
When a woman abuses a man,
Uh-huh.
when a woman abuses a man,
Mm-hmm.
and a woman or the man call the police, who is going to get the blame?
The misandry.
Who is going to get the
I
blame?
think the man will.
All right. Now, if a man, last part of the question, if a man knowingly got abused and got scarred and go to make a report, and then they see the woman, what they're going to say? What are they
Say that.
If a woman abuse a man and they obviously see the scars on the man's body like a scratch, what are they going to ask?
Okay. What do you mean? What are they going to
What are they going to ask the man?
What happened?
Okay, thank you. If a woman physically got abused by a man and they see the scars on the man, what's going to happen?
He's getting put into handcuffs.
They're not going to ask what happened. It doesn't matter how long she's been away. He has the power to stop anybody at the time. So because he had the power, she could not go to anyone because every time he gets in trouble, he always gets away. The man shot a girl in the face in a club, and Shine got the blame.
I'm still trying to see how you bring this in connection.
You still don't get it.
No, your explanation is just...
You still don't get it.
I don't get your explanation to it.
All right, let me try to simplify it.
Please.
When a person has power, I use a woman because a woman, the law is her power. Whether she is wrong or right, the man is going to get the blame.
Okay.
Puffy, Diddy, whatever terms, he has power. Whether he's wrong or right, the victim is going to get the blame. Male or female, the victim is going to be blamed because the people that serves him.
There we go.
That's what I'm trying to get across to you. That's why I give it a long explanation. I ask you about your parents, and I say about the police and the cop. And
Your
he's like,
explanation went in circles, G.
no, you still just wouldn't get it. You still wouldn't get
Your
it.
explanation lost me. That's all I was like.
How?
How is he bringing this in connection?
How would it? How possibly it could lose you?
But I get what you mean by that.
Talk to the mic.
Nah, I get what you mean by that.
You finally got it now.
Yeah, that you simplified it. So
Stop the cap.
now I'm looking at it from the standpoint. She's came forth now after she's seen Cassie and Miss Dickerson get a bag.
It's not about the bag.
And
It's
she
about the
knew-
umbrella of
she knew-
protection.
She knew she had a moral obligation to speak up.
It's you're thinking about the bag. It's not about the bag.
Nah, I just throw that out there.
The protection.
It's all that you said.
The protection
Trauma,
of umbrella has
fear.
been opened, and everybody that he's been raining on, tornadoing on, hailing on, is now able to go out and run underneath the umbrella of protection because they said now. So many people have been speaking out. Now I can speak out. I'm not fearful anymore because if he tries to come at me or his cronies try to come at me, I'm protected because it's proof that he's been doing this for a long time. That's it. Okay.
She is seeking money though.
It doesn't matter. She deserves it.
Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying she don't. I'm just saying.
Okay, according to this lawsuit, he ruined her potential, everything. She almost killed herself. She was hospitalized, right? And if she wasn't hospitalized, they could, and she's lying, they could pretty much pull up the information and show that she's lying. She never gone to the hospital for attempted suicide.
Facts.
Right? Why did all these other assailants, these other perps, these other predators have met the same fate, but it took a long time for them to meet that fate because they had handlers, they had protectors, because people were getting paid, and the money is more powerful. It commands more control over
Than someone's feelings.
exactly, not just their feelings, their person, their issue, whatever the trauma. They don't care because they care about the almighty dollar.
Money.
Money. Exactly. All right, so let's continue. So where are we now?
We are
89?
at 90.
We're at 90.
Yeah.
Cause of action. As a first cause of action, the NYC Victims of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act against defendants. Number 90, everyone. Remember again, we're here reading this lawsuit, right? And you're following along. You can see that it's very detailed, right? So it's yet again another lawsuit on Diddy, and we do believe that there's more to come. You're going to file your lawsuit too?
He ain't do nothing to me.
Stop the cap.
All right, number 90. Plaintiff reiterates, and alleges each and every allegation made in the above paragraphs of this complaint is as if more fully set forth herein at length. Number 91, the NYC Gender Motivated Violence Act revises any claim against a party who commits, directs, enable, participate in, or conspire in the commission of a crime of violence motivated by gender as a cause of action against such party in any court of competence, jurisdiction, NYC Admin Code subsection 10-1104. Number 92, the above described conduct of defendant Combs, including sexual assaulting or abusing plaintiff at a music studio located in Manhattan, constitutes a crime. Constitute a crime of violence. Hey, do me a favor. Look in that black bag. You see my battery in the outer pocket. Yeah.
Your who?
Battery for my laptop, and the battery's going low. Yeah, the outer pocket. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, guys. Battery going low on the lappy. All right.
What?
Continue. Continue. Read it. So I was at 92. Take 92.
92. The above described conduct of defendant Combs, including sexually assaulting or abusing plaintiff at a music studio located in Manhattan, constitutes a crime of violence against plaintiff and is a crime of violence motivated by gender, as defined in NYC Admin Code 10-1103. 93. Defendant Combs' crimes of violence were motivated by plaintiff's gender, as defined in the New York City Administrative Code, as defendant committed forcible sex acts upon plaintiff that would constitute felonies under state law, and as the conduct presents a serious risk of physical injury. Whether or not those acts have resulted in criminal charges, prosecution, or conviction. Let me bring that back.
What you said?
93. Defendant Combs' crimes of violence were motivated by plaintiff's gender, as defined in the New York City Administrative Code, as defendant committed forcible sex acts upon plaintiff that would constitute felonies under state law, and as the conduct presents a serious risk of physical injury, whether or not those acts have resulted in criminal charges, prosecution, or conviction. You want to take
the
94?
appellate? Yeah, number 94. The appellate division has held that sexual assault is an act of gender-motivated violence under the law as coerced sexual activity in dehumanizing and fear inducing malice or ill will based on gender, as apparent from the alleged commission of the act itself. Animus inheres where consent is absence. And you guys can read, guys can look the rest of that up. Number 95, the above described conduct of defendant Combs constitutes sexual offenses as defined in Article 130 of the New York Appellate Law. Number 96, plaintiff is a woman who is older than 18 who alleges misdemeanor and or felony penal law violations, including but not limited to sexual misconduct. NY Pellet L subsection 130-20. Criminal sexual act is a first degree.
In the first degree.
In the first degree. New York Pellet Law subsection 130.50. Criminal sexual act in the third degree, forcibly touching, sexual abuse in the first degree, and sexual abuse in the second degree. Wow. So it's felony and misdemeanor charges here. I guess. All right, let's just continue. I won't even mention what I was going to say.
I think they were just describing the charges.
Yeah. Defendant Combs coerced plaintiff to engage in sexual contact and or sexual intercourse, despite the fact that he was rendered incapable of consent. He was rendered incapable of consenting due to intoxication. 98. Defendant Combs gave plaintiff several drinks throughout the night and laced blunts. Thus, he knew or should have known that plaintiff was incapable of consenting to sexual contact and or sexual conduct. 99. Defendant's actions presented a serious risk of physical injury or plaintiff's person, regardless of whether or not those acts resulted in criminal charges, prosecution, or conviction. Number 100. As a direct and proximate result of the aforementioned crime of violence and gender motivated violence, plaintiffs has sustained and will continue to sustain monetary damages, physical injury, pain and suffering, and serious psychological and emotional distress, entitling him to an award of compensatory and punitive damages, injunctive and declarative relief, attorney fees and costs, and other remedies as this court may deem appropriate demands as set forth in subsection 10. Damages, sorry, thank you. In subsection 10, 1104, thank you. 101. Furthermore, defendant Bad Boy Records, Sean John Clothing, LLC, and Universal Music, Inc. enabled defendant Combs' commission of the crimes of violence motivated by gender, and thus are liable under the New York, that's the NYC Victim of Gender Motivated Protection Act. 102. Defendants Bad Boy Records, Sean Combs Clothing, and Universal Music Group, Inc. enable and participated in the sexual abuse of plaintiffs because defendants failed to, among other things, protect plaintiff from a known danger, have sufficient policies or procedures in place to prevent sexual assault, properly implementing procedures to prevent sexual assault, take responsible measures to ensure that policies to prevent sexual assault were working, train their employees to identify sexual assault and inappropriate workplace behavior, protect their employees from sexual assaults, and adhere to the applicable standard of care. Number 103. Defendant Bad Boy Records and Sean John Clothing and Universal Music Group, Inc. enable or participate in the sexual abuse of plaintiffs because defendant failed to timely and properly educate, train, supervise, and or monitor their agents or employees regarding policies and procedures that should be followed when sexual abuse of a child is suspected or observed. Prior to Combs' sexually assaulting plaintiffs, Bad Boy Records, Sean John Clothing, LLC, and Universal Music Group knew or should have known that Combs was not fit to be in a position of authority. Defendants by and through their agents, servants, and or employees became aware or should have been aware of Combs' propensity to commit sexual assault and of the risk to plaintiff's safety. At the very least, defendants knew or should have known that they did not have sufficient information about whether or not their leaders, managers, or people were safe to be in position of power. So here, before I continue with 105, everyone, the way it's worded, right? It's saying that they should be aware, they should know, or should have known. That means even if they didn't know, they should have find ways to find out what's going on. So essentially, you should know. Oh, I didn't know. Well, you should have known because some clues were there. So they worded it in such a way that whether or not the defendants say, "Oh, I didn't know," but you should have known there were clues there, right? All right. So there's no escape for them there, right? So number 105, defendant Bad Boy Records, defendant Bad Boy Records, Sean John Clothing LLC, and Universal Music Group Inc. and Universal Music Group Inc. knew or should have known that Combs posed a risk of sexual assault. I understand the wording, but that's kind of really far-fetched, you know.
What's far-fetched?
That they knew or should have known. Because if someone, it's kind of like a sociopath will, out in the public, be the nicest person, do the most humane things. I mean, they'd be like really supercalifragilisticexpialidocious type of person, right? and then behind closed doors or behind the curtains, they are a terror. They are terrifying. They're doing wicked things.
I'll take a different angle.
Go ahead.
The reason I think they included those parties from Universal and Bad Boy and all that should have known is because they may have had people.
Hold on.
Whether it's
1 second.
Went to camera 6.
Yeah, so that they just had mutual parties that went to those parties or those gatherings that reported back to the label or who may have worked at that label. So that is why I think she had them put that in the lawsuit, like, you guys should have known. Or if you guys didn't know, whoever didn't know, you guys should have found a way to know, because that assistant was at that party. That artist that was signed on you guys at that time was at that party. That's my take.
Okay. Well, they're just making sure that they word it in such a way that the lawsuit has enough merit to withstand any opposition. Yeah, I think that's why it's worded this way, and it's typical in lawsuits like this when they're going after defendant. They put it in a way that makes it almost impossible for the
You have to. You going against Diddy.
It's not Diddy. It's anybody. You know.
It's to the point earlier when you said, "Oh, who has more power, Diddy or Jay?" When you're going up against certain people in the lawsuits, you gotta come correct.
Yes, you do.
Going up against somebody like that, you better be trying to bring the whole cloud down everywhere.
That's true.
Facts.
That's true. So we were at what number?
I think 107.
Did you read 107?
No, I was giving my take on
106.
Yeah, when you said it's far-fetched.
Okay. Number 107, defendant Bad Boy Records, Sean John Clothing and Universal Music Group failed to Inc. failed negligibly, deemed that Combs was fit to be in a position of authority, and or that any previous sustainable problems Combs had were fixed or cured, and or that Combs would not commit acts of sexual assault, and that Combs would not injure others. 108. Moreover, Bad Boy Records, Sean John Clothing, and Universal Music Group Inc. enable the sexual abuse of plaintiff by actively maintaining and employing Combs in a position of power and authority through which Combs had control over people, including plaintiff. 109.
Damn.
As a direct or proximate result of the aforementioned crime of violence and gender-motivated violence, plaintiff has sustained and will continue to sustain monetary damages, physical injury, pain and suffering, and serious psychological and emotional distress. All right. In entitling her to an award of compensatory and punitive damages, injunctive and declaratory relief, attorney fees and costs, and other remedies as this court may deem appropriate, damages as set forth in subsection 10-1104. Jury demand. 110. Plaintiff demands a trial by jury of all issues. This is not, that means she's demanding. She doesn't want to settle.
She wanted jury.
She wants a jury. That means there's nothing he can do.
Let's go.
He can't cassie her.
Yeah, she's saying, I don't even care about your money, bruh.
Yeah. Oh, she's gonna get the money. It's there. But he can't cassie her. He can't go run and settle with her. Right? She's out for blood.
She knows that those games get played.
Yeah. Yeah.
80,000 under the table here.
Yeah.
Another 150 there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Therefore, plaintiff respectfully requests a judgment against the defendants. Okay? So this is prayer of relief. Right? Prayer of relief. Therefore, plaintiff respectfully requests a judgment against defendants. A. Declaring that defendant Combs engaged in unlawful practices prohibited by the New York City Victim of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act, in that Combs drugged and sexually assaulted plaintiff. B. Declaring that defendants Bad Boy Records, Sean John Clothing LLC, Universal Music Group Inc. engaged in unlawful practices prohibited by New York City Victim of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act, in that they enabled defendant Combs' commission of the crimes of violence motivated by gender. C. Awarding plaintiff damages for defendant's breach of contract. See, money. It was already there, mentioned already. B. Awarding plaintiff punitive damages. F. Awarding plaintiff attorney fees, costs, and expenses occur in the prosecution of the act. And G. Awarding plaintiff such other and further relief as the court may deem equitable, just, and proper to remedy the defendant's unlawful practices. Dated New York, May 21st, 2024. All right, Phillips and Associate. So everyone, this is back to what we were saying. Hey, you can bring up the thumbnail again and just let thumbnail sit on the screen. So as we were saying, so he's going to really have to answer to his maker, his gods, his protectors, his handlers. I mean, all the things that he has done is now set forth in front of all of us for the world to see.
Let's go.
Everyone, everywhere is talking about Diddy. He's not the only one that is in the news cycle, but everywhere, everyone, he's been talked about. Whatever revenues that he's generated is no more. His clothing has been pulled from the department stores. He no longer has the liquor contract with De Leon for Ciroc. His record label, I'm not sure if they dropped the distribution. He's selling off assets and putting it in his mother's and his son's Justin's name and his twin daughter's name. He is doing everything a rich person would do because he's been rich for a very long time, right? This guy by now, 30 years. This is not new money. This is old money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just that he had old behaviors that the money helped him to cover up. There's two times when a person shows who they really are. When they're financially set or they're inebriated. Right? So I don't know how he's going to beat this one or the lawsuits, because I think this one is one of numbers. I think 7 lawsuits have been filed. Right? So I don't know how he's going to beat these.
Guilty.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen. He's done. Did it.
Guilty.
Did it. That's a tongue twister. Did it, and he's done. I mean, it's so sad though. It's so sad that a person would build such an empire, and because they can't control their selfish indulgence, their debauchery. And you know what's crazy though? It's always sex that brings them down. It's always woman. It's always woman that brings them down. Right? And if you are a king in your own right, because obviously, usually, when you build an empire, you're your king of your empire, right? You may have bigger people, because even in the past, the king, he still had to answer to the church. And even when he passed laws to prohibit the church from doing things, the church always find a way to get the king ousted. Whether he is taken out or overthrown and have to seek exile somewhere, it's always a woman. I mean, these people that are so powerful. I mean, if you get money, let's use Denzel Washington for instance. Have you heard anything about Denzel Washington? And Denzel Washington been married for a long time. There's a lot of celebrities that have been married for a long time. They find one good woman, a woman that sees potential, right? And that woman is not out for the money. She's out for the family. She's worried about the last name that her husband have to be the last name of the family. She's not worried about the last name on the dollar bill, on the $20 bill or the $100 bill. She's not worried about those last names. She's worried about the names that's going to make her empire flourish. So they can have, her and her husband can have financial footing for generations once everything is put in place properly. But when absolute power corrupts absolutely, got it right this time. When absolute power corrupts absolutely, these people think that they are above any repercussion. And then what happened? Here comes the woman, and the woman that you decide to mess around with, play with, emotionally destroy her or them, in this case, them, right? You're not going to get away, right? It was just...
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
It's one of those things where you just have to sit back and say, who is next? Who is next?
To come forth and say Diddy did this to me.
No.
Diddy did that.
No. Who is next to be dethroned? Because Epstein was dethroned. Cosby was dethroned.
The dude at Nickelodeon. Forgot his name.
I don't know what's his name.
He had damn.
Well, look him up. All right.
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane. Who is Seth MacFarlane? Let me look him up too. I want to see who Seth.
Oh wait.
Is it Seth MacFarlane?
No, it's a different name.
Sorry, Seth.
But they
Nickelodeon. What? He's a peto?
Yeah. Ha ha ha. It's called Quiet on Set.
I don't
Dan
see.
Schneider was accused of inappropriate
Well,
behavior on
what's his name?
Dan Schneider.
Dan Schneider?
It's a 4-part episode called Quiet on Set.
Oh, I
Schneider.
heard something about that.
Schneider
Yeah.
was accused of inappropriate behavior on his Nickelodeon shows, including asking female employees for massages on set. And he was doing this to minors.
Wow, Dan Schneider. It's coming for all of them. Yeah, it's coming for all of them. All of them. My hopes for this is that it cleans this outing of these powerful people clean up the industry, both the music and the film industry. Clean them, get rid, like they would say, drain the swamp.
Facts.
Right? But it's not going to really happen because they usually have a fall guy. They prop someone up. And then that person is protected by the law, by the media, by whatever agencies that they put in place to handle the protection for this particular individual or individuals that they want to keep powerful. And that person tend to go to the extreme and do the most egregious things, right? Terrorizing things to others without remorse. Because I think there's some people out there that's very, very smart. And you can look at a person, you be around a person, and you tease them with certain attributes, or certain attributes is the wrong word. Tease them with certain come on, brain.
Gifts.
Have you
No.
ever had a dream that that you had
Where's
want-
Ray coming from with these stream decks?
What?
What was that last one about, Ray?
Don't worry about it. I know what it's about. You don't know what it's about.
Yeah, what's that about?
I know what
Please
it's about.
bring me up
Oh,
to
hold on. Let me take this call. Hold on. Hello? Huh? Hello? She called me and tell me she's gonna call me right back. I was gonna ask, that's the one I'm gonna ask the question to. Right? So what I was gonna say. All right. So they were certain things were placed in front of them. They were teased and enticed. That's the word I was looking for.
Wow.
They
Did
were,
you say entice?
no, I didn't say enticed. They were enticed, and these people that are very smart, psychologically smart, right? They will look to seek out the narcissist, right? The sociopaths that they know they can prop up, that they will use money and dangle in front of them, right? Dangle in front of them to entice them to go forth and be not the fall guy, but be the guy or person that they could use. Because think about it, Epstein wasn't doing this by himself. R. Kelly wasn't doing this by himself.
That guy Dan Schneider.
Dan Schneider wasn't doing this by himself. They had handlers. They had people that was protecting them because they were getting paid. There were benefits in the back end for them, so they turned a blind eye to the wickedness that was going on.
Facts.
Right? So Diddy was enticed, and they saw in him the propensity to be this. Think about it. Usually people that have these kind of behaviors are usually very charismatic people, right? You following me?
Yeah, I am.
Okay? They're very charismatic people, right? And because they're so charismatic, they know how to entice them to get them to be that person that they need. And then they sit in the background and then they filter everything through these people. Oh, I want this kind of woman. I want this kind of child. I want this kind of man. I want this kind of liquor. I want this kind of this and this kind of that. I want to do it this way and I want to go this place and do it. And hey, you have to make sure that you put the right people in place to make sure that no one knows that we're doing this, right? And once they're found out that this is happening, they do everything to make that person the fall guy. Once they put everything out, we're not going to believe. We're not going to believe it's just for intensive purposes. They're not going to believe it's Johnny Billionaire or Bobby Billionaire, right? Or Rodney Real Estate Mogul.
Facts.
They're not going to believe it's these people doing it. These people are the mega wealthy people behind them, and they are the handlers, right? But maybe they just couldn't handle. Diddy got to a point where he's like, okay, I'm worth $1 billion. I'm worth this amount of money. So now I can do this. I'm worth this amount of money. I can do this. I'm in the fashion industry. I'm in the music industry. I'm in the film industry. I'm in all the industries. My tentacles are all over the place. Call me Octopus Puffy Puss. That one didn't sound right. Right?
Whoa, pause.
But he has his tentacles everywhere. And so he had power. Right? So that's where we are, guys. So hey, today was an interesting show, and thank you for everybody that was helping us to make sure letting us know that our audio was a little bit off. We appreciate you, right? We want you to remember to like, share, and subscribe. Share. Help us grow. We're trying to get to we're far away. But hey, I want to look back and say, hey, we have 500,000 subscribers. We have 100,000, 500,000, a million subscribers. Yeah, we want to get there, guys. Yeah, because the more content the more subscribers we have, the more loyal listeners we have, the content gets better, the studio gets filled with very passionate and very passionate people, charismatic and passionate people. That will just help the channel grow. And me personally, I want to interview well-renowned people. I want to ask questions. I want to sit back and just pretend like I know nothing and just let them have at it. Talk. We just have talk. Where I'm not sure, I just ask, hey, explain this and explain that. Right? Think and say. Learn things, say. I want it to become a platform where people can really come and just express themselves. Right? And as we grow, certain content will be, I must be honest, we've talked about this as a team. Certain content won't be there anymore because we have to make sure that we follow suit to where our original ambitions, when we set out to do this, my original ambitions, when we set out to do this, when I talked it over with the people that are involved, say, hey, this is what I want to do, and trust me, there are others that would give their feedback and say, hey, don't do this, do that, do this. And we have discussion, and we want to get there. And Charlie, hey, look like you're ready to take.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's just from being a workaholic, always on the grind.
Yeah. So remember, like I said, like, share. Yes, sir. Like, share, subscribe. You want to get on the channel, you can contact us to our social media, send a direct message to us. You can call us or text us. I forgot to say that last time, so I made sure I remember this time. You can call or text us. Send a text to us at 1-844-PUT-ME-ON. Again, that's 1-844-788-6366. Put me on, 1-844-PUT-ME-ON. Call or send a text to us so you can get on the show, get on the channel, and we can have discussion. And you also want to book the studio, you call that same number and somebody will answer. We can have discussions. And also, you can support the channel. You can support us so we can take care of some bills, right? At chat.tips, right? So help us grow by telling a friend, sharing, and asking them to subscribe, turn on the notification bell. And guys, I guess we're ready to wrap this one up and move on to something else. So, Ray.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Yes, Ray, take it away. And let's play that closeout music. And so everyone can know that, and anyone that didn't, that we were trying to call, that I was trying to call to ask a particular question, you lost your opportunity. All right. So, all right, Ray, it's yours to close out.
This is a good show, huh?
Yeah. I play that closeout music. Question everything. You have it?